Amazing. Thanks, everyone. Oh, I feel like I can see people now that I can see my chat screen. I don't feel so alone. All right. I think I'm going to get started now. All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining today. Bear with me because this is my first real Zoom class. I did a small one with a salon, Sienna's out in Grand Falls at the beginning of this pandemic, but it was only 5 of us. So this is a big one. But I'm so excited because Wella has come out with a new color line. So I don't know if you guys have gotten your hands on it. I know it was a little late coming in to O'Keefe's, but a few people have got their hands on it, myself and Tina. I'm here with Tina today. She is also a Wella brand educator. She's just here for moral support. But yeah, so Wella came out with this color line, and myself and Tina just recently had training. We were supposed to go to Toronto, but that all got canceled because of you know what. So we had to do our training online. But yeah, so we're gonna get started. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Oliva Chafe. I am a Wella brand educator here in Newfoundland, and Tina is also a Wella brand educator. I own a salon. I'm a boutique salon. I'm located in True Salon Suites. So it's myself and Tina that work there. And so, yeah, and I've been working for Wella for, gosh, it must be 8 years now. I recently won Wella's Trend Vision. That was back in August, again, virtual. So I missed out on a cool trip to Vegas, but it was okay because I was extra pregnant anyways then. And the opening, they just opened that. So if any of you guys wanted to join that this year and enter, you should really look into it. I think it's open until May for submissions. So you can look that up on Wella's Instagram page. And yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. And again, if anyone has any questions at all during this entire presentation, just put it in the chat box. We do have everyone muted just because it just kind of gets a little noise cluttery. But if anyone does want to get up and actually come on video and speak to me, I would love it because I do miss everyone. Yeah, so for those that don't know, I've been working for Wella forever, it seems. And I did take a little bit of a break since I had my 2 beautiful little girlies. So they are 2 and 4 months old now. So I haven't, this is my first Wella class since having both of them because we were not expecting a pandemic in the middle of it all. So I'm just excited to be back to work more and finally working with Wella a little bit more. So yeah, so we'll get started, and any questions, put them in the chat. I think I'm just going to answer them as you guys ask them. If it starts getting too much questions, I might save some to the end. But I shouldn't keep you guys here too long. I know Andrew said 2 hours. Honestly, it's not going to take that long. It's very simple. It's not changing anything crazy from what you already know from Wella. This is just an amazing add-on that we've been missing forever in our color line. So I am just so excited to have this. And yeah, so we're not taking anything away from you. We're just adding. So your clients are going to love it. We love it already. Like I said, myself and Tina have been sent this product. We've had it for about a month now because we're educators. That's why we get our hands on it early. But that's also really great because we're able to kind of trial and error it before everyone else gets their hands on it. So if you guys have questions, we're always here to help. And for those of you that have already worked with me, you know that I'm always available on Instagram. I might be a little slow going with responding to questions these days just because I'm a little busy at home, but I always try to get back to you with any questions that you have. And before I get fully into the slideshow, all of this info today can be found on the Wella app. So I'm going to get Tina to just open this up on her phone. So it's just an app you download. It's just called Wella Education, I believe. Yeah. So you open that up. I think you might have to create an account for it. You do. But you have access to everything Wella has to offer, whether that be the Shinefinity color, there's education videos, there's so much on that app. It's unreal. So
there's also Nioxin and all that stuff.
Yeah, so everything that's under the Wella company's brand portfolio, it's all on this app. So you'll be able to find, it's just folders of literally everything there. So it's just such a great tool because if there's anything that I go over today that you forget, check that out first. And then if you are having any issues, message me, message Wella. Since Wella has now switched over to Wella Company, we're no longer under P&G. I cannot tell you how much more I love this company because everything is just so much more personal. So yeah, so let's get started. So Shinefinity Color Glaze. Shine you can feel. So when I say shine you can feel, I mean you can literally feel it. Like this, it's almost like a color treatment for the hair. And as I get talking about this, if any of you have like worked with another color line, you're probably gonna start thinking of who the competitor for this line is. And it's pretty awesome because I've never seen this before. I'm sure I've seen it before, but I'll get into it. But we actually have shade comparison charts for our competitor brand. And I'll get more into that now in a little bit. But it's just really great that if any of you guys here aren't fully Wella users and you use other lines, this might actually be the answer to what you were missing. So again, bear with me. I'm just new to this. So I was so sad my name there, but I never. So Shinefinity Zero Lift Glaze. How do I move this? Okay, there we go. So Shinefinity Zero Lift Glaze. So this is Wella's new demi-permanent line. So before you guys get all crazy, no, we are not taking away color touch. There's nothing happening with color touch. Just gonna go through this. I feel like I already asked this. So time, I feel like this is only gonna be an hour. I know we said 2 hours, but probably 40 minutes or so for me to kind of go through the whole slideshow. And so I don't think we're gonna need any breaks. Again, ask questions, share your professional experience. Anything in that group would be amazing, just in the chat. And then, like I said before, hop on if you wanna chat with me. So let's go through this. Okay. So what we'll cover, so we're going to go into introducing what Shinefinity is, the shade palette, the technology, the usage, Shinefinity services, portfolio position, demo, workshop. I'll probably just demo like how to mix it today because just for the sake of time. But if you wanted to see like a little bit more on application, again, that's all on the Wella app. And then, well, social media tips. Well, just go on my social media.
This was the slideshow that they.
This is like, yeah, this is the big slideshow. But anyways, you're gonna get all the info today. All right, so let's begin again. Shinefinity Zero Lift Glaze. So for those that are just joining, I know a couple of people are still kind of popping in. This is Wella's new demi-permanent line. So this is not replacing color touch. So do not worry. There's nothing happening with your 916. It is staying here. This is just an amazing add-on. So the big thing today is zero. You're going to hear me say zero a lot today. And that's just because it's an amazing thing that this color line has. So hair color needs. So more than ever in the past 5 years, so much has changed in terms of what hairdressers want and what our clients want. And a big thing of what that is like healthy hair. Like, I feel like it's just such a trend. Me as a hairstylist, I do work with a lot more of like natural looking colors and things like that. So I'm not a big like corrective color person. I'll do it if I have to, but I just like natural. I just want everyone's hair to feel healthy and just look beautiful. So it's something that I've definitely seen my clients have been wanting. And I do think, I hate talking about COVID, but COVID has really like made people realize, like, even just being locked in their house with not like heat styling their hair every day, they've now like realized that their hair feels so much better when it's healthy. So now people are wanting zero damage. They're wanting their hair to feel shiny and healthy. So this is what Shinefinity is going to do for all of us. So better hair feel, reliable colors, results, playfulness and shine, and no damage or maintenance. So that I think is the biggest thing with this, which is my favorite. So Shinefinity Zero Lift Glaze, it's a beyond a gloss. It's a long-lasting color glaze. So this is going to last like upwards past 6 weeks. So I think this can be used as like a color as well. And I'm going to get into all this, but when you're thinking of Shinefinity, I feel like this is going to be primarily used at the sink for toning for a lot of us. So want more from your gloss. It's long lasting, a color I don't need to babysit. There's no drip, no mess, zero lift, and zero damage. So that's just a comparison there that you can be from toning. Oh no. What? It's not up. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, my slideshow's not up. I'm here talking to a wall. Stop share. Let's try this again. Meeting. Sorry guys, I have to start this over. I won't start it completely over, but my slideshow's not showing. Okay. Start share. All right, can you guys see this now? I just started sharing my screen again. Yeah, I'm gonna get Tina to log in just so we don't have any more glitches for me. So you're seeing like the side-by-side comparison.
You're back up and running now.
Okay, Tina's gonna log in. Sorry guys, I'm like, again, this is the first Zoom class I've taught. So I can't see myself either. So I've just been talking on the screen. Okay, cool, amazing. And I guess just feel free to interrupt if that happens again. I don't care. It's all good. Okay, so let's go to the next. You're logged in?
I need to
Okay.
be accepted.
Oh, I'm gonna accept Tina.
I'm like, locked.
Just make sure your volume's off on your phone too. Whoop, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna let Augustus take care of that. I'm trying to take over. Okay, so perfect balance, color, and shine. So healthy looking shine, and it's a shimmering veil of color. Now, when you hear the word veil, you're probably thinking of another hair color line that Wella has, which would be Illumina. Again, this is not changing that, and the results are still slightly different with Shinefinity versus Illumina. So possibilities. So there's lots of options to use this. So I think the biggest thing is going to be shine, but regardless of how you use this, you're always going to get the shine, which is really cool. Dimension. So, you know, if you're doing some freehand painting and you want to tone with that, it's still going to pick up on the different levels of hair. It's great for refreshing the ends of the hair, so you're not putting permanent color over permanent color, for toning, and for corrective color as well. So this is Patricia Nicole. So she is really big on Instagram. So this is her Instagram page here, Painted Hair. So give her a follow. She actually helped co-create Shinefinity. So she's going to be sharing a lot of education on her page as well. So just a quote from her: in the past, I had to worry about inconsistent results after lightening. Shinefinity is true to tone. So when we say true to tone, it doesn't necessarily mean what we're seeing on the swatch. A lot of people get that confused. Like when we say true to tone, people are thinking, oh, it's going to look exactly like it does on the swatch book, but that's not the case. True to tone means that it's going to even everything out. So when you are lightening hair, porosity levels, they happen, right? So people's hair is going to be more damaged on the ends from previous color versus what it is up towards the regrowth because it's healthier hair. So in the past, when we've done lightening, we probably did a toner, something could have grabbed a little bit more purpley on the ends if you were toning with like a violet based toner, and then up here would tone perfectly, and then we're going with like a Nioxin or some sort of clarifying shampoo to try to lift that purpley out if we don't want it. So what we're finding with Shinefinity is because of the alkalinity base, and again, I'm going to get into all that, it's just giving everything's like true to tone from root to tip. So it is much needed. So the numbering system, and guys, if I'm going too fast, just let me know. I do tend to speak a little fast. So again, Augustus, if anything comes up in the chat, just let me know. So our numbering system. So we are not changing anything for you guys. So this will just be a very easy transition. I know it's a little scary and it seems like overwhelming because Wella has come out since I started working with them. They've come out with so much more color. Like when I started with Wella, it was just like Colestone and Color Touch, and a few people here in New Flint use Charm. I've never ever used Color Charm. It just wasn't, they don't teach it to me anymore here. But yeah, so since then they've come out with Illumina and then the Blonde Or Base Breakers and like there's just so much and it can get overwhelming. And as a hairstylist myself, I'll be honest, I don't use every single thing in the Wella portfolio because it all depends on what type of work you're doing in your salon. So yeah, but the big thing today is we are not changing anything for you. So our numbering system is staying the same. The only thing that you're going to see different now between say like Colestone or Color Touch or Illumina is in our numbering system, you're going to see a 0 in front of your tones. So what the 0 indicates, it's translucency, 0 lift, 0 damage. So when we say translucency, it's kind of just meaning that it's a gloss, but you're still going to see that color because the 9 is still the depth of the tone. So we have our depth, which is the level of the color that you're putting on, and then you have your major tone and then your minor tone. So 961, this is an exclusive color to the Shinefinity line, and it is so pretty. If you are 916 lovers, this is just like that little bit more violet base versus the ash violet, and it's so pretty. I cannot wait for you all to start using it. And if you guys have already tried some of these, and as I'm talking, share in the chat if like you love that shade or whatnot. So do you want to go see if there's a regular Wella book there? I just want to get a comparison. So this is our color chart. So if this is for the Shinefinity color chart, so where all the Shinefinity tones will rest in our color chart. So you can see here like strokes 3-6, stroke 3-8, so forth. Our more intense tones, like deeper, darker levels, are in, and more pigmented tones, sorry, are in the middle of the circle. And then as you work out, you'll get the more lighter translucent tones. But if we compare the Shinefinity color circle to what would be in, say, like our Colestone color book, you're going to see the difference. I have Tina going to try to find a color book. If she can't find it in the back room, I'm going to get her to run downstairs. I forgot to bring one with me. But yeah, if you look at the Shinefinity color book or the color circle, it's actually more like pastel looking. So if you remember on the Colestone, like the regular color book for Wella, it's really dark and pigmented. So this just kind of indicates that we do have a really nice like pastel, translucent, shiny finish for the Shinefinity color. So even just looking at like where certain tones are sitting, a big one that I notice is, oh, Tina's coming here first before I go in. The big one that I notice is the Stroke 7.5 series. So when I use Stroke 7.5 series a lot, so I would use like the 4.75, 6.75. They're very like pigmented. But then with the Shinefinity, you're just gonna get it. It's like almost, it's a veil of color. You're getting that same brown, red, violet, but it's with just like that pastel sort of feel. So this is just the comparison. I don't know if you can, okay, perfect. Oops. Yeah. So you can see how those are much more pigmented in the Wella, the regular Wella book. So we have some really fun shades, but yeah, 6-1 is gonna be freaking gorgeous. Okay, and again, any questions, just let me know. All right, so here are all of the shades, and I am sure they will come out with more because I think that this color line is really gonna take off. So, oh gosh, Tina, oh, don't do that. That's gonna make me look even worse. Tina's like putting her phone and be like, do you wanna see yourself? I'm like, no, because that's probably a bad thing. If any of you guys are posting this on Instagram, make sure I don't have my mouth open. Okay, so we have our natural shades. Actually, I'm gonna put myself back up here again. There we go. I feel a bit better. Okay, so we have our natural shades, our cool tone, our warms, and we have boosters. So our naturals, I know there's a color in here that a few of you are gonna be a little bit nervous to use because I myself was as well, because whenever we see green, we freak out, right? Like no one wants to put a green toner on anyone. The 602 and the 902 series, like it is freaking gorgeous. Like, and if you're afraid of using it solely by itself, mix it with like something a little bit warmer, but like you could use this straight up on dry hair for like a root smudge or anything like that. And it's just so beautifully natural. Like it's going to cut any bit of like reddish undertones. Oh, we have it on our mannequin here. Okay, this side. So this is
That's straight up 0602.
yeah, the 0602.
Yeah.
That's what that is. So like that doesn't look green at all. I'm going to even get my ring light in here a little bit more. Can we see that good on your screen?
A little bit, yeah. It's just a little dark.
Yeah. But like there's no green happening there, guys. So this was on like a pure blonde mannequin. So it's a beautiful color. So yeah, naturals. We have our cool tones. So you're going to see some new ones. So another one that I do find pigment is different, the 465. This is not going to be like your Colestone or your Color Touch 465. It's it just has like that nice, yeah, it's just like a translucency veil. It just think glossing when you think of this color. But again, you can still use this on dry hair. It doesn't necessarily have to just be at the sink. As you go down, also, I'm going to point out too, we've actually named every one of our colors, so which is cool. So we've never done that before, only with the Color Fresh Create, I think was the only one that we actually named. So it's kind of nice because you can kind of just like explain it more to your client, because I find as much as clients, you know, think they want cool hair, when they show you a picture, you're like, that's warm. So this is just really cool to like explain what it is. Like, oh, I'm hearing someone.
Oh boy, and you make the picture. Is that a snowstorm or what is it?
Let's see. How do we see everyone on this? Just to mute. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna mute. It's all good. I'm like, I'm in O'Keefe's today because I was not doing this at home with a 2-year-old running around. All right, sorry guys. So let's go in. Oh, here we go. We have a more close picture of this. So I'm just gonna quickly run through what the shades are. So we have bitter chocolate, dark sage, deep walnut, soft sage, silk blush, beige sand, cool tones, deep cherry, steel orchard, cherry wine. Like all these names are just, clients are gonna love it. It's just, and I think it's gonna be really cool for social media too, to kind of like now be able to explain your colors. Oh, there's a few. Mute. Okay, perfect. And then our warm, like paprika spice, hot chili. So all these shades that you're seeing right now, these are what it would look like on white hair. So for those of you that already have your color book, you can see all this in here now. I'm gonna put myself up on the screen again so I can see. Yeah, so this is your color book here. If you don't have your color book, ask Andrew, because he will hook you up. I know that there's like shipping issues, of course, with everything right now. So maybe we're waiting on a few, but you can also see this on the app as well. So the way that this works, I just think this is such a great tool. So on the end is like the shades that you're seeing here on the screen. So this is on white here, right here. So it's exactly what each shade will look like on white. That's those little pieces of hair that are hanging out. What you're seeing here in the middle, right next to each shade, is what it is on level, and then it's the depth below. So if this is a level 9, this is what it will look like on a level 8, and then the depth above, so what it will look like on a level 10. And another thing I'm going to point out is you're not seeing any level 10s here, but that's because we have a 00/00. So we're able to dilute it. So there really isn't any need for a level 10. All of these shades are completely intermixable. So if you wanted to create your own, like using a warm and a cool to kind of do like that fun sort of color, if you wanted to add some of the strokes 00, stroke 66 booster into something to make it a little bit warmer, you can. And if you wanted to just straight up use nothing but gloss, just use the crystal glaze by itself. So here you can just kind of see what it's going to look like depending on the starting point. So if you're using any of the copper tones on a blonde, and I actually just recently posted this on my Instagram. It was so gorgeous. My client just had like an old balayage. She just wasn't really in the mood to like full on color her hair this day. So because it's semi-permanent, I knew that it was going to fade out. So it wasn't like a super like commitment for her to go with this, because she just had like kind of just like a warm brown, like a warm light brown on her ends. I was like, I used the 6-stroke 4-3 on her, I believe it was. But if you go on my Instagram, you'll see, I think I did like a little video or reel on it. But so she had like natural level, like 5 brown with the light brown, probably, so I'd say anywhere between level 8 and 9 on her ends. And I put the 6-4-3 on it, and it just took beautiful. So on the browner pieces, you still got that little bit of warmth. And then on the lighter bits, you're getting that higher pigmented color. So just keep that in mind. If you are going to use like a 6-4-3 on a level above, it is going to be highly pigmented. And just keep in mind too, that depending on how far you're stretching that level system. So by putting like a level 4 on a level 9, it's gonna take a little on the wishy-washy, more like pastel-y side. General rule of thumb, kind of stay within 3 shades. Three shade levels, I mean. And another really cool thing with this is there's no need for pre-pigmenting. So like to like fill the hair, if you are changing within 3 levels, like 3 to 4 levels, like you could put this on and it will still, the true to tone technology in this is going to make it fill in really good. All right, so let's go through the technology. I'm not like a huge science person, but Chelsea Mann, she is the Wella tech out on the West Coast. I think she's in Alberta maybe, but Wella Canada West, she posts another like full like video of like, and she just explains the science. She's like a science geek. I love her. She explains this so well. But the pH technology in this is what is making this stand out compared to the rest of the Wella portfolio. So the Shinefinity is alkaline. It's like mildly alkaline based. So we have 2 activators. So we have our bottle activator and our bowl and brush activator. Watching this now, you're probably thinking of our competitor, and I'm going to get into that at the end. But we need these activators to make this balancing pH system. So you cannot use Color Touch Developer with the Shinefinity. It has to be used with the Shinefinity activators. In terms of when you would choose one or the other, it's all just personal preference. I personally like to use a bottle for like a quick little toner application at the sink. Bowl and brush is great if you want to do like a root smudge and be like a little bit more precise, or if you want to be a little bit cleaner, like at your chair applying color on dry hair. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we're not taking a break.
I just have one little question here that popped up. And if you can answer there now. Can you hear me? So we have a question. It says some brands tend to appear a level darker, such as a 9 appearing darker than a 9. Can we assume that this will stay true to the level?
Yes, it will. Yeah. It will say like, it's exactly how all the rest of like Wella's portfolio is. So like a 9 will be a 9. If anything, some of you might feel like it might even seem a little bit lighter just from like personal use, because it's has that like translucency. If you're used to say using like a 916 all the time for toning, you're getting primarily depth. We now have like a gloss in front of this, so it's going to be just a little bit more sheer. Not a lot, but just for myself and Tina using it in the salon, we have noticed that. So like, don't be afraid that the 961 is going to pull nothing but violet on a blonde's hair, because it won't. It just has that beautiful tone. And again, that's the true to tone technology that's going to kick in with this. So hopefully that answered your question.
Thank you.
So let's go a little bit more into it. And again, I know I'm probably all over the place, but it's new to us as well. So I'm just someone that learns from using the product, and I feel like that's just a hairstylist thing, but we will go into a little bit more, and then I'm going to fully get into the pH technology now in a second. So it's a clean formula. So we have 0 ammonia, there's 0 silicones, 0 alcohol, 0 paraben, 0 PPD, PTD, 0 direct dyes. It's free of animal-derived ingredients, which is just something that clients are looking for now. And yeah, our packaging is like recyclable and all that stuff too. That's just, everyone's just being more cautious with all that stuff now. All right, we're not taking a break. So how to use Shinefinity. I don't know if it has the pH thing in here. Anyways, if it's not, I'm just gonna go through this whole slideshow, and if it's not there, I will find something to show you the pH or just explain it a little bit more in a minute. So it's going to be applied on towel dried or dry hair. So meaning you could use it at the sink as a toner or just with a client coming in. Obviously you don't want someone to come in with like really dirty hair. But you know, just use it as you would color touch, really. So it's gonna develop for 20 minutes. And before you start panicking, no, you do not need to leave this on for 20 minutes at the sink if you don't want to. I'm gonna get into some of the different ways that we can use it as a service, because I ain't leaving a toner on for 20 minutes at the sink if you know me. I'm all about speed. So it gets mixed 1-to-1. There is no post-treatment needed, so no service. I personally like using service to like before I tone, just to kind of get the tangles and stuff out of the hair. That is okay, because if that's something you're used to, like, you know, rinsing out some foils and you just want to make sure that you get all that out, you can still use some service and then rinse it. But there's no need to use like post-color service after you use Shinefinity, because that's where the pH balancing system kicks in, and there's just no need of it because it makes the hair feel that good. But if you're like me, it's just habit that I love using service and my clients love it. So, all right, so a flexible formula for adaptable results. So what you're seeing is just different timings. So softer results with shorter timings. So this is something that I learned with John Sebastian. He's like head of education for Wella for us. And this isn't even applying to Shinefinity. This is just like toning in general. The longer you leave a toner on, the longer it's gonna last for that client. The more pigmented it is, and the longer you leave it on, the longer that's gonna last. So like if you're gonna leave a toner on for 5 minutes versus 10, that's only gonna last for say 5 shampoos, or like not necessarily that, but like it's only gonna last shorter versus if you leave it on for the full time. So right here in this slideshow, and I hope you guys can still see it. Yes, you can. So you're gonna see the comparison of the 7-stroke 7.5 on 10 minutes versus 20 minutes. So leaving it on depth and more tone. So just keep that in mind. And right here on the other side, you can see the 6-stroke 0.7 with heat and without. So with heat, it's just going to intensify it that little bit more. I don't think we'd use heat for actual like toner application at the sink, but this is great if you wanted to use it as like a root, just like a solid color at the chair. So the clear tone, how do we use it? So we can use it to dilute any shade. You can use it by itself, and you can use it to pastelize the boosters. So there's like the stroke 6.6. If someone just wanted like a violet toner over a blonde, you could totally dilute it with that. So yeah, use it half and half with the 9 to create your 10. Or I lied. Sorry guys, I lied. So this is the how to soften the shade. So don't use it half and half. Don't listen to me. So this is the shade. So you just want to dilute it with the grams here. So mixing ratio with clear example would be like a 10 part to 1. So 10 grams of clear to 1 part of the shade. And then you'll see here what it would be. That would be like super pastelized as you go more. So the more clear you add, the more pastelized it is. But again, it's mixed 1-to-1 regardless of using the bowl or brush applicator. So these are your boosters, kickers, whatever you want to call them. So this is on depth. So that's from like blonde to dark, I believe. Or no, that's using more of the
That's using more. So say if you use like 3 grams
it's gonna go
right,
Yeah, 3 grams of clear versus 12 grams. This is just going to show you how much more intensified it's going to get. Bear with me, guys. My daughter was in hospital while I was actually getting trained on this. So this is why Tina's here for moral support. I was like in training while she was in the hospital. It was insane. But I'm loving this color, I have to say. So care for Shinefinity. You know, just use your Wella. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't use elements a whole lot. I do love color motion, but it's to each their own. Anything that's going to protect your color is great to use. So color motion, brilliance, anything like that is great. And a lot of my clients still use like Fusion Flex and stuff. So the possibilities. So this is where we get into, yeah, so we can do shimmer melts. So shimmer melts, this is kind of like our balayage. So we can use Shinefinity at the regrowth for like a smudge root, and then tone it with a different tone at the end, and it just like blends perfectly. So you can like kind of just like smudge it in and mix it into like the lighter shade at the end. So really great for anyone that has balayage or like highlights, for just straight up shine. So, and any blondes, like a lot of blondes, they lack, I like to think I'm a blonde, but I'm not a blonde. I'll never be blonde. So a lot of blondes, they lack shine. And it is crazy the shine that this has given. Corrective glaze. So if you just want to just do a corrective color, so you can, you know, if someone's hair is pulling more green and you want to put like a rosy color on it just to counteract it, or if you just want to change it up. And then we have 2 toning options. So we have our speed or our flash glaze, and I'll get into that a little bit more. And then our balancing glaze. So if you are using another color line in Wella, whether that be like Illumina or Celestone, you can use this now to refresh your ends, because a lot of the tones do coincide with what's already in our color palette. Okay, so Shinefinity glaze, use after blonding services, standalone or on natural hair, apply to towel dried or dry or towel dried hair. So if you're using this as a toner on the sink, really make sure you really just towel dry as much as you can, like, because it's going to make it just apply a lot better. And then the shimmer melt glaze, perfect to achieve modern painted hair look. So painting, and then root glaze for the end. So it says here 50 minutes. So that would be for like your lightener. So just don't get that confused with the Shinefinity. So the max amount of time you need to put Shinefinity on is just 20 minutes. So it's so fast. It's very similar to Color Touch in that way. The balancing glaze, so perfect to complement when balancing ends while using Celestone or Illumina. And I am gonna like repeat myself a little bit here. Corrective glaze, so balance moderate unevenness or darkening up to 3 levels. So like I said, you don't need to pre-tone with this because of the true to tone technology. It's just going to take so beautiful. Speed glaze, so ideal for in between appointments and adjust or enhance a blonde, just like so toning out the sink. So these are kind of like our hero speed glaze shades. You can obviously use something else at the sink, but these are like more pigmented shades, so you're just going to get a much better result. So speed glaze means just 10 minutes at the sink. So due to the shorter development time, you may select a shade deeper than the target shade for more tonal results. So like I said, I used the Zero Stroke 643. Like I just didn't, it was like a quick speed glaze I wanted to do, and it took like intense, but that's what I wanted. But all these shades from like level 7 to 9 are what we would typically use for a speed glaze. A flash glaze will just be for 5 minutes. So this is what I love. Like I'm a speed worker, and I still give quality work, but my clients like to come in and out. Like they don't want to be at the sink for hours on end. So speed flash glaze shades, we have like a lot of our 8 series and the 9 series. The 965 is gorgeous. So these are like this flash glaze recommendations. So you're going to see like observation on healthier equals like less tone. So untreated hair, so meaning on natural hair, something that's not pre-lightened, you're going to see less of that tone. And a lot of that is just because of like porosity, right? So if you had like a bleached blonde hair and you're going to put the 965 on it, you're going to get more of a tonal hair. So you can see here where it says bleached and then bleached level 8, bleached level 9. This is just comparing, like you're going to see more of the tone. And that's, again, just because of porosity. But this is why the flash glaze, I think, is just so great for anyone doing highlights, anything like that that's already pre-lightened. For a quickie, it's amazing. So what's the difference? All right, so acid versus alkaline. Oh, it's not. This is something I could like fill in, but I'm not going to do
Yeah,
that.
this is what, yeah.
I just have another little question there for you. If you could just touch on talk about how easy the product is to spread, you know, looking at like not wasting color that can happen with other brands. Do you just want to take a second to fill in your thoughts there?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to mix it in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to get Tina to mix some in a bottle, and then I'm going to mix some in a bowl. Excuse us because we don't have any gloves or anything on us. So versus, I'm going to just come out and say it. So for those of you that have ever worked with our competitor Redken, I can say all this now because we're in a private class. This is Wella's way to kick Shades EQ's butt, in other terms. So we're this is the competitive color for Shades EQ. A little backstory about me. Before I worked with Wella, I was actually an educator for Redken. Some of you might have remembered that. So I've had my fair share of experience with Shades EQ, and I will let you in on a little. Andrew's going to kill me because he's here. But even as a Wella educator, I found myself reaching for Shades EQ because I liked the speed of it. I liked the shades of it. It was so shiny. So as much as I always loved using 916, there was just certain tones I could never find in the Wella portfolio for what I needed. But now that we now have Shinefinity, I no longer have to reach for my Shades EQ. And what I am liking, the difference is the consistency. So to answer your question, there is no dripping. Like if you use our competitor, it's like you have to mix it in a bottle. Yes, they have a thickener for that color line. And I'm sorry for anyone has never ever used Shades EQ, but I feel like you're a new client. I feel like a lot of people probably have. But Shades EQ is very like runny and like liquidy, even with their thickener. So the Wella one is definitely more creamier. So very similar really to how your color touch is going to feel. So, and I don't know if you guys have gotten your intro kits, if any of you bought them, there's new Wella bowls. I freaking love them. Black is my favorite color, so I'm super excited. But they still have the measuring system on the inside. It is a little bit harder to see, but it is there, so you can still measure. I'm just going to mix it a little bit here, so just 30 mils. So again, we're just mixing 1 to 1. And as you can see, I'm just going to do it. So that's our developer for bowl and brush, and Tina is doing the bottle one. So it's still more of like a cream-based activator for the bottle. Versus if you are used to our competitor, it's just pure liquid. So this is cream-based. So even with the bottle, you're not getting like dripping everywhere. But the bottle one is a little bit thinner than the bowl and brush one, just for the ease of application.
So I do like to put the developer in first and then the color, because then you can measure how much like color you actually need versus if you put the color in,
Yeah, you
it
can't really
almost
see.
sticks to the bottom and you can't see how much developer you need.
Sorry guys, I'm wasting this on me. I should have gloves. Sorry. So just like our other color lines on the tube, you have your mill system as well. I like love these color tubes. They're so cute and pink. I probably should just mix like 15 mils or whatever. All right, and we'll give that one to Tina to mix there.
Yeah, so for those of you that haven't used it yet, the Shinefinity color is like when you squeeze it out, it's a little bit more like liquidy, but that's only because of the developer where it's a little bit more of that creamy texture. It needs to like coincide, so like the consistency is
So
a little bit better.
This is just the color. It almost has like a jelly sort of feel to it. So it's definitely not as thick as like Colestone or Color Touch. Now I don't have a whisk, but these are the new Shinefinity brushes as well. So just gonna mix this up just so you can see. So this is bowl and brush, and you can kind of see there. So this, yeah. So I'm like, it's taking, like I'm shaking this. So that's how thick it is for bowl and brush. So again, not super runny. So very easy to apply both at the sink or at your chair with that. And then I'll let Tina, or I'll mix this up here. Again, for bottle users, if you're not, give the bottle a little squeeze first, then put your finger over it and then give it a shake. Because if not, if you don't give it that squeeze to get the air out, it's just gonna fly everywhere. So for anyone that's not used to working with a bottle. Now, just so you can see how liquidy it is. So it's still like, even when I'm not squeezing, it's not just pouring out. So it's not like crazy, crazy liquidy. And it still has that little bit of like a cream texture there. So really easy. And even if you just want to do a root smudge, this is still really great because you could just quickly do like a grid and just like spread it out a little bit with your fingers. So I hope that answered that question. If it didn't, just ask again. Okay, so Shinefinity, so long lasting. I'm just gonna do a like a difference. So Shinefinity is long lasting color glaze. So it's a balanced pH technology. So for those of you that are sciencey people, we have our pH scales. So we have acidic and then alkaline. So Shinefinity pretty much sits like right in the middle. So it's not like lifting your hair too much, and it's not going like completely acidic either. It is mildly acidic, or mildly alkaline, sorry, but that's just enough to like open the cuticle enough just to get the tone in there, but not enough that it's going to like break your base or anything. Well, it does have some color lines that will break the base, being like the blonde or toners and things like that, which sometimes you do want that, but I know me as a natural stylist, like I really like just like natural hair and working with people's natural hair color. I do not want that base to budge at all. So this has zero lift, zero damage. So again, it's just mildly alkaline, just gonna go in and slightly open up the cuticle a little bit, and then the color will go in, and then it just, because you're using the pH balancing activator, it will then smooth the cuticle back out and just create a pure shine and healthy hair. So it has ultra natural blend for first signs of gray. So you're not getting like up to 50% gray coverage like you would with Color Touch. So on the screen here, you can just see like the difference of both. So yeah, Color Touch, this is why Color Touch isn't going anywhere. Color Touch is great for up to 50% gray, but the Shinefinity, it's a glaze, it's a gloss. It's not going to cover it. Maybe if you were going in with like a darker shade, so like say myself, like I might be starting to get a couple gray hairs. It, you know, it might just help blend it a little bit, but nothing intense. All right, so here is just like the difference of mixing if you wanted to just compare it to the other like toning services that we offer. So Shinefinity is just 1-to-1. You can leave it on for 10 to 20 minutes. Color Touch, or Colestone, sorry, if you were using Colestone for glossing, keep in mind it is permanent color, so you would break the base with that. Blonde toning with Illumina, again, gorgeous, lots of shine, very similar to the results of Shinefinity, but again, it is a permanent color line. So Illumina will also break the base a little bit. And then Color Touch, which we all love, and I will never stop using Color Touch. Like Shinefinity is not going to replace my Color Touch. I'm going to have Color Touch clients, and I'm going to have Shinefinity clients. So it's just when we start playing with shades, we'll find out what we want each shade for. So Color Touch will not break the base, but sometimes I'm sure there has been instances that some people, if you're using like a 13 volume per se, but I've never had an issue with Color Touch breaking the base. And of course, Wella came out with Blonde or toners, and that will break the base because it is a little bit more on the permanent side. So 0 lift, 0 damage for that. Soft tonal change for Celestone. And I'm just going to go through. So if you want to like take a little picture of this, but again, this is all in the Wella app, but this is just so you can kind of see a difference of all the shades. And this is just like application. So it's just like a little, I'm not going to go too far into this, but just so you guys can see. Ooh, I have a video. Let's play it.
We're gonna shine forever. Oh, you and I. We're gonna shine forever. Oh, you and I. We're looking good together.
I wish you guys could have heard the audio for that. I don't think you could because I had to set up audio on my computer. But Wella came out with like their own theme song for this color line. It's stuck in my head. I'm not going to go through all the videos for this, but that was just enough so you could just see someone else mixing it. But yeah, there's just so many different ways to use this. So I'm like, we don't need to take a big break here. We're not going to take, unless anyone feels like they need a break, but it's not going to be very much longer. These, I'm just going to skip through all this, guys. Okay. So yeah, just to go over, I'm going to just like go over this and then I'm going to just turn off this and then just kind of be like a round table questions for everyone. So Insta ready colors. So these are just, if you're big on social media, I do find too, since Wella has switched to like their own independent company, they're like so much more personal when it comes to their Instagram page. Like they're sharing way more of our work and it just makes you feel good when you know that your work gets shared. So these are the hashtags that you would use if you are using Shinefinity. You want to mention Wella Hair, Wella Education. If you're posting about today's class, mention me, Oliva Chafe hairstylist, Tina Au.hair. But yeah, and then like post, I want to see like your pictures. So post your before and after of your Shinefinity. And yeah, Wella loves seeing that. And just a little tip, if you are big on social media, Reels have really taken over. So just a run through of what we've covered. So we introduced Shinefinity, give you guys a shade palette, the technology. If anyone wants me to share a little bit more on that, there is a little experiment that Chelsea shows using like pH drops from a pool place. I was really trying to get out there this morning to like Clearwater pools and pick that up because it's just such a cool little experiment. But just to like tell you about it with the technology. So she took 3 color bowls. One had Shinefinity mixed, one had Color Touch, and one had Celestone. And she just put the pH level or the pH drops in there. And with pH, with these like pool things, it would turn like a certain color depending on what the pH level was. And you could see that the shine, it literally just showed the difference of the pH levels. So go on, it's on Wella Canada West on their Instagram page. And that's on Chelsea's like Instagram TV. It's just like saved in there. You can see her full breakdown of Shinefinity, and she goes through that. It was just really cool just to see the difference. But the main thing here is that Shinefinity is 0 lift, 0 damage. It is not like acidic. It's not it's balanced pH. So it's not acidic. It's not alkaline. It's right in the middle. So you're not shifting anything.
Can I touch on that?
Yeah,
for a second?
Tina's gonna touch on that.
Yeah, so with the like balancing system, so like she said, like when you think of the pH like scale, like Shinefinity is like right dab in the middle. So it's not like alkaline and it's not like fully acidic. It's basically right in the middle. So the moment that you mix your color and you put it right on the hair, it goes slightly alkaline, so it swells the cuticles, so then the color can get underneath the shaft. And then literally right after that, it goes slightly acidic and balances it out, so it closes the cuticle, so the color stays nice and fresh, and then it gives you that even tone, like root to end.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I mentioned that before, so it was a great like recap for that. And before I get into this, I know we're gonna have this question. If you're a Wellaplex user, Wellaplex cannot be mixed in Shinefinity. You can still use Wellaplex for your blonding service during the same appointment, but we're not, because of the balanced pH technology in this, you're not going to want to add Wellaplex in it because it can affect the acidic level.
Exactly.
So you want to use it separately. So if you are doing a Wellaplex service, because right now I feel like I've completely switched nothing to, I feel like, sorry Andrew again, but as a stylist, I feel like all I use now is Blondorplex. Like I don't even care to use Blondor anymore. I get like a better lip with it, and well, everyone needs healthy hair. But yeah, so you can still use Blondorplex, Wellaplex to lighten, but you're not going to want to add this into the color like you would with just using like the straight up Wellaplex, like mixing it into your Colestone or your Color Touch. And same thing with like your step 2. You can still do that before you actually go to tone with this, but just don't mix it in with it. And Shinefinity services. So we did go through all that. What did I do with my sheets of paper? Oh, sorry. So all of the different services. So we have our Shinefinity glaze, our speed glaze, our corrective glaze, flash glaze, and balancing glaze. So many different uses for Shinefinity. The portfolio position. So that just goes over the color wheel, so where each color is going to sit. And again, just keep in mind, these are glossing, so they're not like straight dark pigmented like you would see on Colestone or Color Touch. So yeah, so let's open the room for questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so I can see everyone. And if you want to put on your cameras, say hi. And if anyone wants to unmute themselves and talk that way, I would love that as well. So let's open up the chat. Okay, so I already answered that one, right? Some levels in this section. Maximizing spreadability. Okay, yes, I'll do that. Okay, so is there any questions, guys? No? Everyone's quiet? Give everyone a couple minutes if there's any questions. Feel free to write them in the chat as well. All right, so it seems like no one has any questions, so that's great. So hopefully it means I explained it fairly well. But again, it's just very straightforward. I'm super excited to add this to the Wella portfolio because it's something we've been lacking. And just to touch on, I know we touch on our competitor. Oh, another question there. If you apply this to dry hair, will it make it darker? Like color over color will make it darker. Wondering, will this just make it shiny and not darken it? So it will darken it a little bit. So like I said before on the, right here, you're going to see what it will be like in the book. You're going to see what it is on depth or the level above. It will deepen it slightly because it is color, but again, because it's semi-permanent, you don't have to worry about like color depositing, like building up over time like you would with a permanent color, but it would just make it look a little bit deeper and give you like that little bit of tone. So this would be the depth below. So say for this, I'm getting here. So this would be on tone. So this is the depth below. So it would just go a little bit deeper. Hopefully that answers that question. But yeah, because it's not like permanent, you're not getting that complete like build up of color over color. It's just going to just add that bit of tone on top of it. And so yeah, I was just about to say we're competing with Wella Shades EQ. So you can find this in the Wella app. I'm not sure if Andrew has these. I think they might have came with your intro deals as well, but there's an actual Shades EQ comparison chart. So if you happen to be a Shades EQ user, this will give you all the Shades EQ colors, and then this will give you the formula that you can use to then make that color with Wella. Raul, do you have a question? Do you want me to unmute you? I'll unmute you. Ask to unmute. How do I do this? Oh, don't talk, Raul. I can't hear you yet. Stop talking, Raul. I can't hear you. 1 second. Or Augusta, can you do that? I don't know how to do that.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How are you?
So versus shades, because I use shades a lot, right? What would be the a fair cost for the price? How much you think we should charge the clients for the Infinity? Like be cheaper than the cost, like versus shades? Like I mean, how much do you think we should charge extra for the toner?
So I don't really touch on the sales side of education. So that would be a question for Andrew, just to see
Okay.
how much an actual tube is versus shades. I don't know if Andrew's watching right now. If he is, I thought he was supposed to. But if he is, or maybe Augustus knows, even if you just know like how much the Shinefinity is versus the shades. But if not, I can definitely figure that out for you and get back to you. But just charge accordingly. Like just me as a hairstylist this year, just like not even talking about Redken. My big thing this year was to start charging my worth. And if you've seen my video of that on Instagram, make sure that your product cost is charged is covered before you even charge for your hour. So whatever your hourly rate is, add your product charge on top of that. And then that's how, even if you're bundling services like me, if I'm doing I don't actually charge by the hour when it comes to color, but so say if I have a full head of foils and a cut, that might take me 2 hours. So I figure out what my hourly rate is for 2 hours, and then I'll add on what my generic product cost would be. If I'm going to use more colors than that at a sitting, I'll just add like an extra product charge fee, whether that be $10 to $20 just to cover that extra product cost. But as long as my hourly rate is charged, then I'll know for sure that my color cost is in there. Hopefully that answers that question.
That's it. Yeah, because mostly the longevity, and a lot of my clients, which they've been complaining a little bit about the longevity of the shades. Do you think that this will last more in the shades, like the longevity and like?
I think so, because even I'm going to get Tina to give me that mannequin again. So in our training, we actually did a comparison. So Wella actually sent us Shades EQ. They wanted us to really try the difference.
Yeah.
So we have Shinefinity on this side.
Yeah, Shinefinity is on this
side, and then this is Shades EQ. So this is Shinefinity 0/002, and this is Shades EQ 06GN. So both green. It's really hard to see on this screen right now.
No. It shows.
Yeah, so very similar in shade, but when you actually come up close, you can really see the true to tone technology. Like there's different spots on this. It's just a little bit more wishy-washy than others.
Exactly.
But
I feel like when you just look at it like this, you can even tell the way the light is shining on this side where it's so much more shinier and you see the color a lot more versus this side is a little bit more like dull.
Yeah, like even when I put that towards the sun.
That's on a mannequin. Okay, great. That's interesting.
And in the back
we have 090, no, 0961.
and then
And then we have
09V.
09V on that side.
So this is 09V over here, and then this is the 961 in.
Nice. Oh, wow, that's prettier.
Like that I will post on social media of like of them both processing together. Like the Shine is more like it processes more even versus when the Shades EQ was on, you could see it was processing like purpley in some places and like very like wishy-washy. So it was very uneven when it was even processing.
Yeah, so to like answer your question, I feel like you're going to see the longevity last a lot more with this just because of the true to tone technology. Because on like Shades, if you're using Shades EQ versus this, because you're not getting the true to tone, it's probably going to fade up differently, especially on blondes or anyone like that, that you're using it for toning.
Yeah.
It's going to last a lot longer.
Super.
Is that good?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Perfect. So nice seeing your face. Miss you. I used to work at Raoul. He's sweet. All right, I'm gonna mute you. Sorry. All right. Does anyone else have any questions before we take off? Because I didn't want to keep you guys for too long. So we're at about
I just have the one question there where it says, I'm a big user of level 10s. Would you consider the 9 in the Shinefinity closer to a 10 from Shades EQ?
No. So with if you're a big user of level 10s, you're going to want to just dilute it with the clear. So that would make it into a 10. I know we said that we do feel like the 9 is a little bit lighter, but I feel like it's more so, it just seems lighter to us versus like a 9 in Colestone. So in comparison with Shades EQ, to make a 10, you would just, you would add the 0/00. So say right here in the comparison chart, say if you were an 010 GI, I think it, or 010 T per se in Shades EQ, you would mix 0981 with 0000 in Shinefinity to make that level 10. Would you shampoo it out when toning with it, or just rinse rinse and condition? So yeah, so you do not need to shampoo this out, correct?
Yeah,
I'm right.
do not shampoo.
Yeah, it makes the hair, it's almost like using Service by itself. You can just rinse it and it's just instant condition. Like it's that conditioning. I don't even think you would need a conditioner.
No, you also, like they say that you don't need to use a conditioner after you use it unless you really need to, or if the hair is very over processed, that you want to give that extra treatment to the hair, but it's not necessary to put a conditioner after.
When I say like shine, you can feel.
I'm not joking. It is like shine.
It's so good. I haven't even used it. I haven't used it on my own hair, but we use it on Tina's hair.
And about like 3 weeks ago, so it's starting to fade up a little bit, but you can still feel the shine or see the shine and feel the difference within my hair.
And it was 0671 on Tina's hair, and we did that on dry hair as like a standalone for 20 minutes. So it's beautiful. Tina has gorgeous hair anyways.
Can you put the comparison chart up again?
Yeah, I sure can. And this again can be found in the Wella app. It's a color. I don't know if you can see that a little bit. If you want to screen, are you trying to take a picture of it?
Yes.
So this you can find on the Wella app. It'd probably be a little bit easier.
There's a section that says, I'm pretty sure, like Shades EQ comparison chart.
And if not, I feel like Andrew has one as well. If you really can't find it at all, shoot me a message on Instagram and I can like screenshot it a little bit better for you. But it is a really great tool if you are someone that uses Shades EQ.
I do, yes.
Yeah, so it is great to be able to just do that comparison. Because it is a little nerve-wracking when you're trying to switch clients from something they're used to. And if you are like unsure about it, if you have an old mannequin or something, or even if you like cut like a blonde client's hair, like something, just like use like some of the scraps or like old extensions just to do some swatches. I always find it's really great just to make you more comfortable with like the actual tonal result on some colors.
But yeah, I think like Shinefinity is also like a non-progressive color. So like kind of like Shades EQ, I find like if I put on 09V, sometimes at the sink it goes super purpley and then you're like, oh my God, and gotta rinse it out before it goes too dark. Versus Shinefinity, when you put it on, it doesn't go too dark. You see the tone as it's processing. And if you leave it on too long, it doesn't go any darker than what it's supposed to go.
Okay, what would be the comparison to 09V in that?
09V, the comparison is the 961.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, is there any more questions? Seems like everyone is good. Do you have any more questions on your end, Augusta? Or when using it as a gloss for the ends, when using KP on roots, is it okay to shampoo it out, etc.? Apply roots, then apply this to the ends. Yeah, that would be fine because you'd probably be using that on dry here at that point. So that was just a question. I'll read it out loud because not everyone's probably reading the chat. So the question was, when using it as a gloss for the ends, when using color or Cleason Perfect on the roots, is it okay to shampoo it out? So apply to the roots, then apply this to the end. So I'm assuming that this means that you're applying it on dry hair. So if you were to put Cleason at the roots, say to cover gray, and then you went directly and then did the refresh on the dry hair all at the one time, yeah, that would be totally okay to shampoo out because you obviously need to shampoo out your Celestone. Another option is if you want to do more of like a speed glaze, you could do it on towel dried hair as well at the sink. But yeah, it's totally okay to shampoo it out. It was just like an option that like with toning, even when I tone with Color Touch, I never shampoo my Color Touch toner out. I always do my shampoo first, my service, then Color Touch, and then condition. So the only thing different with this is you have the option whether or not you want to use a conditioner after or not. I am a big treatment girl, so I'll always do some sort of a treatment on my clients after that.
I had another question pop up, I think, to me, which says, is the activation of peroxide and are you getting gray coverage?
So there's no gray coverage because it's a balanced pH, and the activator is a balancing pH activator. So like we did mention before, I'll just recap it on again. The activator is slightly alkaline, so ever so slightly. So what alkaline will do, it will open up the cuticle a little bit, but not enough to open it up to have gray coverage, or not enough to like actually shift the base. It's literally opening the cuticle enough just to get that color in there, and then it seals right back down. The activator will help balance everything out. So again, we cannot mix Shinefinity with any other developer. Like it only has to be with the designated color. So is there a gray gloss for natural gray hair for shine and glossing? I feel like that would just be something that you can mix yourself. So it's not going to blend your gray, but if you wanted, if someone had like say gray here on like their sides and then had some gray, or just wanted to blend it with like a gray toner per se, you could definitely use like, let me see, no, it's on French. You could use anything like the 781. What am I trying? Oh, here we go. Shade charts I'm trying to find. So like the 781 is really gorgeous, or the 898, depending on the level of gray. That would really help. That would look like help blend it in terms of like color wise, but again, it's not covering the gray. I'm just wondering, what is the difference in the bottle versus bowl activator? So the bowl activator is thicker, and then the bottle one is just a little bit just like runnier, so that it's just easier to get it out with the bottle. And it just kind of comes, I think when they added the bottle applicator, because Wella is more of like a bowl and brush thing, but I think it's where we're trying to compete with Shades EQ. A lot of Shades EQ users are used to the bottle. So it is nice to have that option, but yeah, that's the main difference. There's no difference as to like what's actually in it. It's just the consistency of it.
I just wanted to know, with the toners, you mix equal, right?
Yes.
Equal.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And if you're using like the clear to dilute it, still use equal parts of the activator for that as well.
Okay, because I use the 09V a lot. So
Yep.
if I use equal, I should get the same as the shades, right?
Good. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Sure. I always recommend doing a test strand just to be sure the back, but I've got to say, like, I'll never reach for shades again now. And,
Yeah,
like,
I find it washes up fast, so I'd like to have something that
yeah.
lasts more. Right?
And I'm I do a lot of extensions, so I tone a lot of hair extensions, and
Yeah.
sometimes I want like a quickie for hair extensions, and I'm so excited for this whole true to tone technology versus like wishy-washy, because extensions are so like porous and they have like, they'll always grab different colors on like a blonde extension if I'm trying to tone it. This has been amazing because it evens everything out so nicely.
Okay, and it don't go too dark.
It doesn't, no.
So
No.
you said 10 minutes at the sink?
Depending on what sort of service you want to offer. So they have different services. So I'll touch on that again. So you have the glaze, which like the true glaze would be 20 minutes if you're wanting to get like exactly that shade. But you can do a speed glaze of just 10 minutes. And then they have a flash glaze of just 5 minutes. But just keep in mind that the intensity of the color will change the longer you leave it on. So if you really want to have like a true 09V, you're going to want to leave it on technically for 20 minutes. If you're wanting speed, I would even personally add just a little touch of the the kicker. If you're wanting to speed it up and don't want to have it on for like a full 10 to 20 minutes,
Right.
and you want to do like a quickie, because I know this will be me, because Tina tried it the other day. She was afraid that the stroke 66 was going to make it like super purple, but it never. It just helped speed up the process. So she used the 961 and just added a little bit of this 0/66. It's just like a kicker, and that just made it like a little bit more pigmented, so that she didn't have to leave it on as long. Hopefully.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I think that is, like, is everyone leaving us now? We still got a few on. I thought everyone left. I was like, is everyone leaving? Yeah, so is there any more questions? I think we are good. And I'll be definitely posting, like we were only sent like maybe 10 shades to play with. So we never even had the whole like line. So get ready, because I'll be posting lots over the next little bit. And so will Tina on her Instagram page. So you'll get to see a little bit more of all the shades. And again, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm sorry, I'm not a big Facebook user anymore. So if you go on my Facebook business page, there's nothing on it anymore. But oliviachafe.hairstylist is my Instagram page. And that's where I've shared a lot of Shinefinity. I'll just quickly show this little one. This is the one that I use, the, I think it was the 6. So yeah, it was a 6.3. So beautiful, hey? And that was just like a quick toner, just for 10 minutes. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any more questions. I will give it another couple minutes just to be sure.
What's that?
Oh, raised hand. Is that you, Raul, or is that
from before?
I think it's from before. I think it's Raul's raised hand. That's it. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions. All right, so again, and if you guys have any questions after this, because I know you might come across questions as you start actually using the product, so feel free to reach out to me, Tina, anyone on the Wella team. Check out your resources first, because that's going to have so many answers to your questions. Will we be doing any training with the schools? I hope so. The fact that the world is going back to normal, and hopefully, well, I don't think we'll ever be normal, but things seem to be opening up. So I think there should be. That's a question for Andrew, but I think if you ever want training, request it. And if we aren't doing in-person training, I know I myself will be totally comfortable to come into the school. So
I'm actually trying to get a class in with you guys at Kean. I've been trying to get a hold of Betty, but I haven't heard anything back. So
get Betty to contact
get Betty
Tina.
to email me back, and we'll probably get a class in with you guys at Kean.
There you go. All right. So yeah, so I have a feeling that there will be more in-person training soon. And I'm so over this virtual, but it is great, especially for people that live outside of Mount Pearl and St. John. So we were able to have people as far as Clarenville. My Instagram is oliviachafe.hairstylist, and Tina's is Tina OU.hair. And that's all Instagram. Sorry guys, we're just Instagram only. We're Instagram girls. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day off. And of course, we jinxed it. The sun is gone. I'm sorry. It's snowing. But hopefully the sun comes back out and we get to enjoy the rest of our day off. All right, guys. And again, shoot me a message if there's any questions at all, and I will answer them as promptly as I can in between baby things. All right, it was so good to be back teaching again, and hopefully there will be lots more education in the future. Thanks, guys, and we are going to sign off. See ya. Zara says that now, so I keep saying, yeah. It's my 2-year-old. Great. All right, see you guys. Thank you so much.